Hello everybody, in this video I have a mixed media art journal process to share with you. This one is very different from my usual. I kind of was just having a bit of a play, a bit of an experiment, a bit of a practice as well. It's just, I'm not very good at colour, and that's not quite, I'm not very good at bright colours. You know, the really bright, fun art journal pages, kind of the Dina Wakley, Jane Davenport style things. It's just, I'm not naturally very good at them. I'm more of a vintagey, florally kind of person. That's what I gravitate to. But I do love watching the more colourful style art journal videos on YouTube and stuff. And I just want to try it out occasionally for, you know, challenge myself, step away from the norm, and just, you know, practice the things that I don't do that often. So, usual process to prep my pages: some tape up the spine to stop any mediums from sinking through there or leaking through there, a layer of gesso, and then I've added some of this collage paper. This is by Art by Marlene. I didn't stick it down with anything, so to speak, as the gesso underneath was already wet, so I just stuck it down straight onto that wet gesso and then went over with clear gesso over the top. And then here I'm just adding some stenciling with some modelling paste and a Maramy small art stencil. If you're new to my channel or anything like that, all of my regularly used products, gesso, modelling paste, stuff like that, are all in my Amazon storefront. And even if you don't want to shop from there, obviously if you do, it supports me. But if you don't, you can just use that as a list, as it were, of products and stuff if you are interested. Anyways, so once that was all dry, I wanted to add colour. I'm adding Dina Wakley gloss sprays in, I did write them down, eggplant, marine and turquoise. I have started to use a spray box, so just like a large empty cardboard box for doing all your spraying in, especially for gloss sprays, because they kind of just spray and get everywhere when you spray them. And when that was dry, you have to kind of leave those to dry because they're acrylic, and if you use the heat tool on them, they can get a bit sticky. So yes, left those to dry, and when it was dry, it kind of gone a bit dull. So I thought this needs some brighter colours. So I've added some yellow. It's a mix of Dilutions spray in Sunshine or something Sunshine, Pure Sunshine, and then a Mr. Huey spray, which I think is long discontinued now. And that created some orange as well as yellow, which really not my usual colour palette, but even I knew that some brightness was needed on this page. I pulled out the Dina Wakley Collage Collective, the one that I have. I think it's volume 2, number 1, or something like that, and chose some bits and pieces to use. But then I thought I actually need some more stuff going on in the background. Like, it all sort of merged and mottled in together, and I felt I needed something to lift it up a bit. So I'm just using white acrylic paste and this circles stencil. I did do it very messily in places, I will admit, and also doing some white stamping just a little bit here and there. Those are from those stamps, I think are Tim Holtz ones, but quite old ones now. I like that grid one I'm putting down at the moment. And yeah, I know it's really messy, but as I said, I'm just practicing, and I thought I would share it just so you can kind of see the process of practicing and what certain mediums do to each other and all that kind of thing. So I do need some kind of focal point or focal points or something else going on these pages. So I chose these figures from, as I said, the Dina Wakley Collage Collective. I have ripped them, or I did cut around some of the edges that are a bit too, like, on the smaller one it was a bit too close to the head, and I wanted to have the full shape of the figure, so I had to cut around it instead of rip around it. I'm sticking those down with some gel medium, and then I also stuck down another ripped piece from that same collage page, which doesn't really have much on it, just, you know, it hasn't really got any obvious shapes on it. But there was also this shape of, like, just a very subtle sort of head shape. So I have stuck him down. I don't know why he's a him in my head, but he is. And there was kind of a shape on that other piece I put down that kind of made it into a shoulder. So I thought it would look nice if I had the page balanced out with two figures on one side that are really colourful and have like this less colourful figure on the other side. So I'm using a Stabilo all pencil to draw sort of the rest of the very basic figure shape, and I'm going to take a water brush or an aqua brush just to make that Stabilo all pencil react, and you get a lovely strong black from that. And then I'm just going to keep going backwards and forwards with my Stabilo oil pencil and the water brush, just trying to make things stand out. Or I'm also using a Stabilo woody pencil, a blue one, because there was some blue on that black, and it was blue that made that sort of subtle figure. But I'm also using the black Stabilo just to enhance the other figures on the other side, because I'd put so much black on the one on the right, they were getting lost, and I wanted those to stand out as well. So as I said, yeah, just going backwards and forwards, adding more pencil, activating it with water and everything, so it's really, really strong, really, really stands out. I added a few more bits of the blue woody pencil just to add a little bit more colour, especially to the sort of the, I don't want to call it the dark figure, because there's plenty going on in the background that you can see, but you know, he's not as brightly coloured, and it's almost like he's lurking or hiding in comparison to the other two really, really bright figures. And that kind of inspired me for the journaling I'm going to do on this. Now, it's going to be that sort of scribbly, completely illegible journaling that a lot of artists like Dina Wakley do, totally copying that style. I know some of you will be like, what is the point of doing that? But it's kind of like, it adds a nice effect. There's that. And it's kind of like you get your thoughts out onto paper, but you don't have to worry about anyone reading it. You can still make it a work of art and be able to show it and look at it and stuff, but not have to worry about anyone reading your journaling, but you still have that catharsis of writing it. So I wrote, I'm not going to tell you what I wrote, but the lurky figure was what inspired me. I'm using a Fude Ball pen for adding that journaling on, and then I'm going to do a little more a little bit later with a Posca pen, but I wanted to lift the page a little bit more, again with some white, so I'm just taking some white acrylic and adding these little blobs and stuff. A lot of art journalers call it mark making, and there is just something about that phrase which I just hate. I think it makes me think of like really patronizing to children. There was a point like sort of around 2008, 2010 sort of time when schools were getting weirdly overly politically correct, and instead of saying, oh lovely artwork little Timmy, it would be like, oh good mark making, and it just reminds me of that and I hate it. Anyways, I added some blobs, I added some crosses, I added some more scribbly journaling, and then I kind of pushed the pen down to get some drippy white bits as well, and I think those are the last things that I'm going to do. So I know it's a bit of a mess. As I said, I am experimenting myself. I'm not great at the really bold and colourful art journaling, so I'm just practicing and experimenting. As I said, I will do more of my usual vintage flowery style very soon, but I just kind of wanted to share my experiments with you. Anyways, I'm going to shut up and go. Thank you so much for watching. Links will be in the description box, as they always are. Please leave me a thumbs up, chat to me down in the comments, and I'm going to go. Thank you again. Bye bye.